Hello, everybody, and welcome to another daily chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby. I hope everyone is doing okay this evening on this Sunday, and good to see you all in the chat already, having a good old natter. And I'm coming live from the garage again. At the moment, we have the place to ourselves. I think Jack and the rest of the family have just disappeared off very quickly. I'm just opening my can of you-know-what. Has not long got up. I've got a bit of a problem this evening. I've got to go and do a pickup, which was supposed to land at 20 past 11. And then I've got to pick them up, come all the way back. And then my other guy is supposed to jump in the bus and go to Heathrow and do a pickup and come all the way back. Now, the problem we've got, of course, is my flight is an hour overdue. I should have known, being EasyJet. Not that I'm saying anything, of course, not that I'm saying anything. And his one is running half an hour early, which is coming from South Africa. So it all depends on how quick I can get up there, back there, and he can get in. Yes, very interesting indeed. So we'll have to see where that one goes. Anyway, let's turn to the chat and have a look at what's going on with some people. Alan Pape, hello to you. Good to see you. Chrissy Williams, hello. Hope you're good down in Dingy Diverville, where you are down there. Trevor Fuller, good to see you. Lorna McKenzie, says 78. I hope he's all good with you. Patricia Shaw, hello to you as well. All regular names as usual. That's great. I've just seen something. I really need to bring something to someone's attention. Cosmic Wartoad. I forgot to mention the free theatre, major sporting events with tickets to the best seats in the house. There's shopping weekends in London or trips to Las Vegas. Sounds delightful. Jerry Georgopoulos, good to see you. Alan Pierce as well. You're all here. That's great stuff. Julie Baldwin, hello to you. Good to see you. And you were chatting to my friend earlier. That was all good to see while I was out with the family. Let's see what else we got. Yeah, I think it's all regular names, isn't it? All regular names, that's what it's all about. Yeah, I don't know if you saw the vlog that I did earlier on today. What I'm trying to... Oh, who we got here? Christine Ayres. Hello, Andy. Hope you're good. I tried that Heineken drink earlier. Bloody hell, was terrible. Like water. Ha ha. You mean the lager, the bottles of lager? Is that what you're talking about, Christine? I usually have those, but they've got to be really icy cold before they're palatable. Not sure. Christine is that the Heineken Silver? Yeah, I don't know. John Harris, hello. Tony, Mr. Brom, good evening to you. And Sharon Shooter. Got some more coming in the chat. That's great. Yeah. One thing that occurred to me a couple of days ago was that I do all these news things and everything else, and you don't actually know me, really. Well, you've probably sussed me out, working bloke and all the rest of it. So I thought I'd start doing these little, I suppose you call them vlogs, little vlogs of what we get up to. And obviously we went out this afternoon to go and play crazy golf. And Jack had a good old time. And some of these bloody holes, they're quite creative. And the last one, they've got a hole where you pot and it goes round and they don't give you your ball back. I think that's the way they collect them all at the end. And then we had a meal. Where do we go? Well, we tried one pub and couldn't get in the damn place. They were too full. So we ended up going to a place called the Canterbury Bell, just round the corner. And that was very nice. And I had a bit of scampi and chips. I haven't had that for a long time. It's very, very tasty. Very, very tasty. What have you been doing with your weekend? Has it been good? Give me a one in the chat if you've had a good weekend. And also, what you've been up to. Let me know. I managed to get the lighting sorted out tonight. I've got the set up here, and I've got the ring light right there, so it gives like a constant light source on me, really. And I've just got to keep a bit still, but I think it's all right. Jason Drury's done nothing. I tell you what, I have days like that where I just want to sit on my ass and do nothing, but it doesn't always work out. There's always something to do, isn't there? Always, always. Crazy golf. Do you have any sane golf, Alan Pierce? No, I don't think we do, actually. No, I do wonder if there's any such a thing as sane golf. I just had a prawn salad, Tony says. Oh, nice. Yeah, my wife and my mother-in-law had like the Sunday roast that was on the menu. There was roast chicken, roast beef, and every vegetable you can imagine. And they went in. We went in this place, and they had like the whole chickens on the rotisserie. Going round and round and round. Poor buggers. Whatever happened to them, mate? I sit on my ass 14 hours a day, 7 days a week. Bless you, Jason. How are your mum and dad, by the way? Are they all right? Let me know. I was doing some studying for Sweden, so I had a variety of ciders. Laugh out loud. Yeah, I'll tell you what. I had a good drink last night. And we have in my house what's called a naughty day. You try and watch what you eat from Monday to Saturday. And then on Sunday, you just go. And today was my naughty day. And I think I might have another one tomorrow. You never know. I really haven't decided yet. Should Andy have a naughty day tomorrow? Give me a one in the chat if you think he should. I've been on a diet for 4 weeks. And I've managed to lose about 11 pounds, so nearly a stone. I'm quite happy with that. I'm a stone lighter. But it's very good. Yes. You can't be a jacket potato. Yeah, you all think I should have a naughty day tomorrow. I like you guys. I think I might do that. I think I've got one other. Yeah, I've got to do the airport run tonight. Then my other driver's got it to do in the morning, and then I've got to go back to Gatwick tomorrow afternoon. So it's like a relay with the old bus. That's what is going on. But, let's have a quick look, see if we can bring you anything. If this is going to load. Oh my God, there's a picture of a pug. Just having a quick look in the background, just to see if there's any latest news worth bringing. I haven't actually looked at the news much today, but oh, is it now? I don't know if you guys are aware of this. I'll show you this one. Let's just, because we've all had the hot weather, haven't we? And it's been roasting. And the last couple of days have actually been pretty cold, well, cooler in comparison. But this was in the news earlier. Let's have a look. Yes, apparently there's another heat wave coming in time for the August bank holiday. Oh, joy, oh, rapture. Let's get rid of this. So, yes, nice picture of someone sunbathing. May feel a slight breeze return to the UK, but forecasters say yet another heat wave could be on the cards. Some experts have suggested temperatures could even reach 30 degrees in extreme circumstances. I'm sorry, but 30 degrees doesn't constitute a heat wave to me. 40 might sustain for days, but there you go. It's the usual stuff. We're in for some hot weather again. And yeah, I think the old hosepipe bands are going to carry on around the place as well. But we'll have to see. It amazes me the terminology that the media are using. Oh, there's going to be a heat wave. It's going to be so way hot and everything else. And yeah, I don't buy it. We'll see what happens. Mm. It's certainly been cooler and more tolerable, that's for sure. I mean, I'm still in my shorts. I've been wearing shorts for ages and ages and ages. That's for absolute certain. Hello, Bethany. It's okay to have an off day now, and after on a diet, you're doing well. Thank you very much indeed. It's been good. It's been good. Uh, don't want to like it. You can't have mine as I don't want it like it. Hi, Andy. Good evening. Not another heat wave, Barbara says. Yes. Well, that's the way the media portray it. That's the way the media portray it. So we'll have to see what happens. If you haven't done so already, folks, please hit the like button on the chat. We need a few thumbs up for Andy the Gabby Cabby. That would be wonderful. Thank you. And if you are new to the channel and you're only just watching, please subscribe as well. We need a few more of them in the house. Yes, that's the main two things. And thank you to everybody that positively contributes to the channel in comments and support for myself. As I said, I read all of the comments, or at least as many as I can on the channel, just to see what's going on and what people are saying. And I very much appreciate all the support that's coming my way. It's wonderful to see. I know who the crew are, who are Andy loyal, and it's very much appreciated. Hello, Gary Thornbury. Who else have we got? Matt Wooten, good to see you. There was somebody else. Vin Paraffin, good to see you as well. Don't think I've seen you for a while. Did you see the story about the Romanian killer who's in the UK and shouldn't be? I've not seen that one, Vin, but it will probably be something that's on my radar very, very soon. I can assure you of that. There was I've had a couple of messages through from people who want stories brought out in the public eye, and we can do that for you. If anything ever comes up you want to report, please send it to me. I can get it out there. That's not a problem at all. I don't mind doing that for anybody. I'm sitting on one at the moment to do with Virgin broadband, but seeing as that's who supplies my broadband, I won't piss them off this evening. So we'll leave that one for another day. Bridget just shared to Facebook. Thank you very much. We're broadcasting on Facebook as well, by the way, this evening. So hello to everybody on Facebook if you're watching. Trevor Fuller, lovely to see you and family chilling out. Yeah, wonderful day. And what fun you can have with a golf club. It's not far from me, actually. It's at Manston, just down the road from the old RAF Manston Air Base, which currently is being used to process dinghy divers. So not great, but they've got the crazy golf area. There's 18 holes, so that's quite good. And then they've got a driving range as well. So people go up there with their golf clubs all the time. I remember having to go once, and I went up there, and I had this driver. And what I didn't realise was the head of the driver was dodgy. So I took me swing and I went bang, and the head of the driver flew off and followed the golf ball. I think the golf ball did 200 yards and the head done 150. The evidence clearly shows that woke Home Office staff are deliberately approving asylum seeker applications. Despite applicants having no right to stay in the UK, the system is broken. Well, you have old Dishy Rishi turning around and saying that he's going to fix all that. And obviously, Liz Truss is coming out with similar bullshit. I mean, what was the figure I saw the other day? They don't think that this migration of people across the channel is going to end for at least the next 5 years. And by then, it's 250,000 people. I'm sorry, but that's an army in anybody's book. When are we going to wake up? Huh? When are we going to wake up and do something about this? I haven't checked on Steve Laws today just to see what he's doing or what he's brought out about it. But yeah, it's getting so bloody obvious. Somebody brought something to my attention earlier about the WEF as well, the WEF. I'll have to have a listen of that and see if I can bring that to your attention as well. There's some things that I read on a daily basis. I don't know about you, but I think to myself, what the hell? And before I reach for my phone to hello, this is Andy the Gabby Cabby, I have to question whether I can get it on here or not. Maybe something else is needed, somewhere where I can really speak my mind and put a pointer on here to, for the occasional subject where we need to get it out there. But in the main, YouTube's pretty happy with me. I think so anyway. Yeah, it is all very sinister, Vin. All very sinister. And Alan Edge, yes, Trojan Horse. I think you're probably right about that one. It's, the way it seems, it's not great. I reckon there's going to be mass issues in this country after not too long, that's for sure. I'm just getting the circulation back in my legs again. I'm going to have to try and get a seat and a little bit of a race thing in here because of, I'm sat down for an amount of time. My legs go to sleep, but it's all okay. Tony, dinghy bikers here near Gatwick, hundreds of them. Well, I'm coming up that way in a little bit, Tony, so I might have to avoid. The one interview I see Rishi do was on this morning. He seems more interested in talking to Andy Peters about his time in the broom cupboard and Andy in his childhood. Jesus Christ. I remember Andy Peters in the broom cupboard. I remember Schofield in the closet as well. Who was the other guy? He had blonde hair, and he was another guy that was with Gordon the Gopher. I can't remember him. I can see his face, but I can't remember him. He was like an in-betweener, I think. But one thing that's getting me with these politicians, and particularly Rishi seems to be very good at it, there's these open-handed gestures, I am going to talk to you like this. I'm going to give you this open-handed gesture. Blah, 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 blah. Think, fuck right off. It's ridiculous. Emma Jane Watts, Andy Crane. That's him, yes. Jason Drury, Pat Sharp. You're thinking of Funhouse. I remember Pat Sharp when he had long hair down to there somewhere. And he had those twins, didn't he, with him on that show? Now, they're from Ramsgate. Funnily enough, local girls. Well, they used to be. I don't know where they are now. Yeah, Bridget, Andy Crane. That's definitely him. That's where Rishi belongs. He can't do any harm there, Alan Pearce says. Yeah, he's not a bloody conservative, is he? I mean, let's face it. He's a left-leaning person with a blue tie on. He's crazy. Ed the Duck. Oh, yeah, brilliant. Gordon the Gopher and Ed the Duck. Wonderful. Wonderful, wonderful, wonderful. Where are we? Joanne Stafford. Good evening, Andy. It's lovely hearing about your family outing, etc. I'm just sitting here enjoying your chat and sharing a yummy cornetto with my doggy companion. Dogs love ice cream, don't they? And ice lollies. Especially in the hot weather. Oh, yeah, Crackerjack. There's another one. I'll tell you one thing we had back in the 80s. I don't know if you're aware, my dad was a police officer. And back in the 80s, they used to do a Christmas party for the kids of all the police officers every year. And in my local area at Ramsgate, John Kent will remember this if he's on here. There used to be a dog track at Dumpton with like a leisure centre kind of thing there where you could go in, and they had a Christmas party there one day. And there's a picture of me when I was about 4 years old being fed a milk bottle by somebody, and I had a bonnet on and all sorts. I'll have to find the picture, but you never guess who it was. Chris Tarrant. Yeah, he was down there then. I have to try and find the picture, but I've been fed milk out of a bottle by Chris Tarrant in about 1982, so that was quite a long time ago. Tony, hello. Andy the Gabby Cabby sent you the Steve Laws video posted today. Right, while we're chatting, let's see if I can find that, shall I? Go on the old Facebook. Right, okay. Yeah, I'm not sure whether I can preload that. Let's just have a quick look at YouTube separately. Steve Laws. Okay, Julie, is that the one about the illegals with their ages? Is that the one you're referring to? Let me know if that is. Opal fruits, Mr. Brom says, yeah. That's when they were, they're Starburst now, aren't they? Opal fruits is the old name for them. Banana splits. Ooh. I had an ice cream sundae today, and that was quite nice. Come on, a glass about that big. It was full of chocolate sauce and stuffed to the rim with ice cream. Handy. Oh my God, mission control in the garage. It certainly is. I love the punch bag. As when I first started doing the channel, where we were going to have a Pratt of the Week award, and we were going to stick someone's boat race on there so we could punch it. And there's a couple of people that I've seen over the last few weeks. The size of their punch bag, I could probably line their faces up all the way up and down. It's nuts. Anyway, let's pull this up. This is Steve Law's latest.
Everyone loves spreadsheets.
Oh,
actually,
shush.
they don't. But check this out.
Hang on, there's an advert. Sounds lovely, but I meant the TV program. Oh, okay. Banana splits. Silly me. Right, let's give this a share so you can see this. Okay, I'm just going to mute myself out.
More than 1,500 adult illegal immigrants claim to be children in the year 2021, according to Home Office data. More than 50 illegal immigrants over 30 were registered as children after the Home Office discovered them lying about their age, according to Home Office figures. Many of which were found to have been put into schools with young children, which is absolutely disgraceful and putting many British kids at risk. But as usual, nobody will be held accountable for this. The data shows that 1,500 adult illegal immigrants claim to be children in the year 2021. In an 8-year period from 2012 to 2020, on average, 355 illegal immigrants a year claim to be children, many of which end up in schools. Officials unsure of the ages of young illegal immigrants have previously had to treat them as children. This was unless their physical appearance or demeanour suggested they were 25 or over. The border force age checks are deeply flawed. It's something I highlighted in January 2021 on my website. In my report, I point out that the first approach is to get officers to point to a number on a piece of paper to determine their age, and then the border force go on to do a self-assessment. A border force officer told me last year in January how the process works. He explained how the Border Force officials line up roughly 18 illegal immigrants at a time before loading them onto a coach. He said, "We look at the faces of the illegal immigrants and determine if we believe they are adults or minors. If they look under 18, we'll send them back to the holding facility and they'll be treated as children." There have been further concerns raised about the system after adult illegal immigrants have ended up in schools with teenagers, which is absolutely shocking and puts many of these people at risk. The Home Office claims the rules were tightened earlier this year by the Home Secretary, who now requires officials to carry out more checks on people who appear to be over 18 and are trying to pose as a child. A new unit is rumoured to be created to thoroughly assess people who claim to be under 18. The methods could include X-rays of their bones, which would be similar to some EU nations and the US, who use them to verify the ages of illegal immigrants. But it's important to note that these methods are expected to only be used on those who are presumed to be given a false age to enter Britain, who ultimately it comes down to the official carrying out the assessment. Many illegal immigrants exploit the legal loopholes and claim to be unaccompanied children, as they have a higher probability of being granted asylum. Additionally, if their claim is rejected, their chances of being detained or removed from the country are next to nothing. There's absolutely no deterrent in place to stop these people pretending to be minors. But to summarise, basically, illegal immigrants are pretending to be children. 1,500 were caught last year, and more than 50 have been reported to have been in schools. So you could imagine the risk that your kids are being put in by this happening.
This is nuts. Absolutely nuts. And I see many of you in the chat saying send them all back. You know, they shouldn't be allowed to leave the French coastline in the first place. You know, that publicity stunt we saw, which I keep referring back to, with the boat being burst. Yeah, it's marvellous, but that should be happening all the time. I've told the story before about the kids that I had to go and pick up. I mean, I'm going back a few years. They're all being held in this processing facility down at Dover. And when I got there, it was full of them. And in those days, they had the old zip ties handcuffing them, because there's complaints that a lot of the people down there now aren't cuffed. They were uncuffed when they were put in my car with me, so I was on my guard. But one of them looked like they were a kid, and the other one looked a little bit older than what I was led to believe, really. But I never knew the truth. But one thing I found amazing, I said, what if they leg it? Whose responsibility is that? And they turned around and said, let them leg it. They probably won't. But as far as I know, they have had some runners, and it's been going on for a very long time. Where are we? Grumpy Get, you're one of the loyal subscribers to the channel, and I appreciate you pointing that out. I'm not going to put it up for everybody to see, but I am aware of that. And another one, yes, and there's another YouTube channel as well, which seems to be into parodies and taking the piss. There is some things going on in the background with regard to this, conversations in you know, which way we're handling it. It's more than obvious what's going on with those cartoons and all the comments and what they're trying to achieve. But unfortunately, they won't achieve what they're trying to achieve because they don't know me. I will make a stand on this at the appropriate time. You bet your bottom dollar I will. But it's not going to be what they want it to be, and they're not going to be very happy when I eventually open my mouth. There's a lot of people who are saying, oh, it's over, he's been charged, you can say what you're thinking. What they want me to do is openly condemn him so they can use it against him. That's what they want to do. But to my mind, they're still sentencing, and to my mind, People are still watching, people are still listening, and people are still deciding on what they're going to do and when they're going to do it. And I will not say anything about this subject until the day I said I would. And I am a man of my word, and I will stick to that. And even then, people can make assumptions about what they think I'm going to say, but they can think again. Bill Cannon of Police Off the Cuff said a very interesting one. If you assume, you make an ass out of you and me. So never assume anything, is all I'll say about that. Anyway, we move on. I used to go to France 3 or 4 times a week, and there were thousands of them, John Harris says. Yeah, I mean, they're trying to get on the back of lorries and everything else, aren't they? It's absolutely nuts. Chrissy Williams, yes, I completely agree with that statement you just said about, what's to do with me and what isn't to do with me. And you're absolutely correct. It's got fuck all to do with me. But there's the perception of what goes on in here, and then there's what goes on in private. And they're two completely different things. But unfortunately, people melt the two together, and you have to find a happy medium somewhere where you can just say, this is my position, and that's it. Draw a line under the whole thing and move on. People want me to say something. That's the impression I get, and they will get what they're after, but it will be when I choose, not when they do. So, we'll put that one on the back burner, and we'll see what happens. I mean, there's an interesting conversation going on the feed on one of my videos that I was made aware of earlier today by one of the mods. And he said, this is a troll. Shall I get rid of him? And I said, well, let me read. And I had a look, and the guy was actually asking, relevant questions. It was annoying because I don't want to talk about that at the moment, but the way he was asking was fair enough. So I said, just leave him. I said, if you don't want to talk to him anymore, walk away from it. And that's fine. But in the main, we're getting a lot of crap where people are just being arseholes for the sake of it. And those we're not, goodbye. That seems to be happening a lot lately, and my mods are doing a very great job at keeping that all as it is. But, I digress. We're not going there until I decide. And that's all there is to it. So I expect a few more cartoons and a few other bits and pieces coming in. But it's free advertising at the end of the day. So if they want to do that, that's entirely up to them. Thank you, David L. I appreciate that. Patricia Shaw, absolutely. I agree. Don't get involved. Again, I'm not getting involved. I will say something at the appropriate time, and then that's it. Done. We will leave it there. Evening, Andy from Tonbridge. Will Baker. Hello, Will Baker. Good to see you. Rooks Drift. That's what will happen in the UK one day. Yeah, and we know how that turned out, don't we? Andy, have you ever been robbed as a taxi driver? Or somebody you know? I've known of taxi drivers be robbed, John. We had a spate of it down here a few years ago. I mean, I've been a taxi driver for 12 years, and 6 of those I worked on the town, and that's a little bit more high risk than airport runs, particularly if you do nights, which I used to do. Now, I used to only do nights because it was just easy to get around, really. And what tended to happen, you used to get people that used to drink too much and cause trouble. And what I used to do, I mean, I'll show you. I got my wallet here. I got pound notes. I used to keep the pound notes in the wallet, and then under my seat, I had a big metal cash tin big heavy metal thing. And the idea was that if anybody tried anything on, they would get that across the skull. And also, we had a panic button as well, which we could push on our mobile phones. And what that would do, it would send a broadcast message out to everybody in the area. This taxi driver is in trouble, pile on. That's how we used to look after each other. But to answer the question, no, we haven't. In Margate, there's a place down behind the high street where it's like a dark, secluded place with no lighting of any kind. And there's like a car park on the side and a block of flats at the bottom. And what they used to do was take taxi drivers down there, take taxi drivers down there where it was secluded and dark and no cameras. And they used to rob them, sometimes at knife point. And I remember doing a drop off round this place once, and the guy said to me, "Can you take me down there?" And I looked at him and I said, "No, I won't. I'll drop you here." And he said, "No, you won't. You take me down there." I said, "Look, mate, I'm not stupid. You're getting out here." And we looked at each other, and whether he was the guy that was doing all the robbing, I don't know. But he probably looked at me and thought, "This guy's not falling for this. Okay, I will pay the bill and leave." Andy, you should have been in the SAS. Good one. Well, at the end of the day, one important job of a taxi driver is to assess what's good for your health and safety. Whenever anybody used to come to the car, I used to give myself 10 seconds. And if I determined that them in my car was not good for my health and safety, they wouldn't get in my car. It's as simple as that. Always have a heavy self-defense weapon that has a lawful use. I do. It's called that. There's one thing they teach you in karate, which is quite a good defense. It's called a shuto. And it's basically a hand like that. And if you've got somebody in the seat next to you that means you harm, or you can do it that way, There are ways of defending yourself in certain situations. And but my favourite was the cash box across the skull. Thankfully, it never had to happen that way. In New York, with the yellow cabs in there, I found out they've got a little light that blinks in the boot. So if anybody has a problem in a New York cab, any of the cab drivers there, the driver can push this little button to make this blinker light go flash, 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 and it attracts the attention of the NYPD, and they can pull the cab over and help the driver. It's pretty cool. Yeah, blood nose. That's an unfortunate statement you've just made about New York, but unfortunately a true one from what I've been reading. I'll give police off the cuff a shout out again, Sergeant Bill and Detective Phil. I think those two guys are great, two retired NYPD police officers, and they bring you all the relevant stories from their perspective and all the cases. And it's quite upsetting hearing what, one of the great cities of this world is turning into. And it could be so easily fixed if the laws were just enforced as they should be. It's nuts. Tony, kick to the side of the knee. Yeah, exactly. There's another one. In karate, which I do, Shotokan is the style that I do. It's all about quick shock, overwhelm, and then get out. It's like here, and somewhere down there a bit longer, and then you got the sides of knees and everything else. It's quick shock, punch, out you go, run. It's a very, very good defense style, and also it improves your physical fitness and everything else as well. So it's quite a wonderful thing to learn. In South Africa, they have flames that come out the bottom of the car. New York has been a shithole since the 80s, sadly. Watch Crocodile Dundee. That's not a knife. This is a knife. That's a classic, that one, isn't it? Yeah. From what I'm led to believe, in New York, the crime was awful. in the in the 70s and 80s. It was really, really bad. And then they went through a period, kind of late 80s through the 90s, where things were changed, and they managed to bring the crime down to quite a reasonable level, if there's such a thing as a reasonable level of crime, and sorted it all out. And then all of a sudden, things are being allowed to get away with, and again, it spoons out of control, and they're getting to the point where it is out of control because they won't deal with it. They won't deal with it. I mean, there's one very simple thing that my father used to tell me, where you used to get crowds of people who were potentially going to cause trouble in the streets. What they used to do was go up and say, disperse. And if they wouldn't disperse, it basically disperse or you nicked for occasioning a breach of the peace. Simple way of getting them out of the way. And apparently now that law's been turned on its head and interpreted in a different way and not used. Has somebody got offended because of it? You never know. The world's gone nuts. Palm of the hand on the forehead, then unconscious. Yeah, I know that one. Got any? Can't see that. Got any OSE? No, Alan. No, I haven't. A kick in the necks. Yeah. In karate, you learn the Japanese name for all the targets. Like Jodan is the head, like the chin and the face area. You never punch there. It's always here. Chudan is the chest area, just at the ribs. And then what they call the nuts is Gidan. Gidan. So if you hear that, cover your privates. That's the one. Yeah, Will Baker, run away. Absolutely. Run away. That's the idea. Just get yourself out of harm's way any way you can. Listen, this is the Daily Chat with Andy the Gabby Cabby, everybody. We've got a nice number of people in this evening. Good to see everybody. If you haven't done so already, please hit the thumbs up button, the like. Let's get those likes up to 100 if we can. I'm not sure where we are at the moment, but that'd be great. I need to check on that flight very soon as well. I'm a black belt in origami. Nice, John Harris. If you've not done so already and you're just watching us for the first time, please consider subscribing as well. That would be great. And it's good to see you all. We have channel members in the chat this evening. Those are the ones with the little green circle next to their name. We have like a membership, it's £1 a month basically, and then we do a little members only live chat once a week where there's not so many people in there, and you get a bit more personal attention from little old me. But I've got to find a way of doing those better because it wasn't obvious really, that they were there, and a few people missed out last week. But we'll try and get that sorted this week. Hello, Karen B. Good to see you. I'm losing it. I was watching this, not even realising it's live. Love it. 8 more likes needed to reach the 100. Come on, guys. We can do this. Another 8, and that'll be great. 8 is great. Hang on, what's this? True story. I got a taxi to a pub once and was getting my bag out of the boot. He'd left his takings there. I told him he didn't thank me. Anyone could have stolen it. Yeah. I mean, I see cab drivers and they keep their takings in the weirdest of places. They really, really do. And you think, what the hell are they doing? What on earth? But, takes all sorts. But, I noticed with the chat numbers, we're consistently hitting over 100 now in the chats, which I'm quite pleased about because it shows we've got some more people coming in. And I quite like that. And we're all contributing as well to it. So that's quite nice. I need to try and get back in the cab at some point, because Andy the Gabby Cabby. But when it's a little bit colder, we'll go out there. I mean, Jack and I did the members only chat from the cab the other night, and it was nice to be back where I should be. But I can actually change my background with this. I don't know if anybody's seen it. But, you know, we've got the garage, and what I can do is put some flash house in the background. See, I'm now in a house. But the problem is, if I move about too much, it looks a bit shonky. Or I can change it for my cab so I'm actually there. Or we can have a mountain, change the background on that as well. Or we can just have a brick wall. So there's lots of stuff you can do with this piece of kit. But I'll just go back to the normal. We're in the garage with the bike on the wall and everything else. 100 likes reached. Thank you, guys. That's wonderful. Brilliant. Yeah, Blood Nose, I am real. Don't you worry about that. I was just showing you what we could get done. Karen B has just become a member of Andy the Gabby Cabby. Thank you very much. I appreciate the support there, and hope to see you in the members-only chat in the week. And try and aim to get that done Wednesday or Thursday, but I'll try and announce that a little better when we get round to it. That's wonderful. Let's see who else we got. Hi, Andy and everyone in the chat. Late this evening. Apologies. That's all right, John. We were just having the general chit chat. At least you're here now. That's the thing. And, good to see you as always. You made it in. Alan Pierce, brick wall's good, as we seem to be banging our heads against one. Absolutely. That's a definite thing, isn't it? It sometimes feels like you are banging your head against a brick wall with some things. I tell you, my bloody leg's gone to sleep again. You won't see it on the screen, but I'm actually sitting on the floor in my garage. I've got like a setup. Yeah, I've got like a setup in front of me with like a little mini desk and everything. The trouble is my backside, my left leg go to sleep, so I have to adjust every now and again. Where are we? I only drink beer at night so I can sleep, as these estrogen hormones I'm on stop me sleeping. I keep feeling hot and have to get up for a drink at night. Laugh out loud. All right, Lorna, maybe it's my man cave. Okay. Yes. The only trouble is as well, we have like the second fridge in the house in here as well. So if I'm doing a live stream and my wife wants a loaf of bread out of the freezer, I get a text message sometimes and he said, "Can I come in the garage?" I'll have to let her one time and get her on the camera. What's this? Outrage on BBC. World Service internship only open to people who aren't white. Good excuse for white people to cancel their TV licenses. Even a court of law would agree. Oh, you do come up with the juicy bits, don't you, Tony? Keep them coming. But again, that's just how out of touch these bloody diversity idiots are. It's crazy. Andy, have a run around. Sharon Shooter says, well, I'll stand up in a few minutes, that's for sure. And we'll see what happens. That's what it does. It's a nightmare. At least my boobs are getting big, so that's a good thing. Nice one, Christine Ayres. Nice one. Going right down the same RAF recruitment policy. Yeah, I can't believe that with the RAF. I mean, just let me just find this picture. Bear with me just a second, folks. I just want to illustrate a point. Right. When you talk about the RAF and their recruitment policy, where they don't seem to want to go down the route of recruiting white men any longer. It's a kick in the nuts. and a kick in the nuts for their entire history. And call it very woke, very cancerless, whatever you want to call it. But let me just, this picture right here says it all. That is the RAF to me. Those 5 guys and even that dog, heroes all, and that iconic aircraft they're standing behind, that is the RAF to me. They gave everything to keep this country safe from oppression in the 1940s, particularly the Battle of Britain and beyond. And some of these guys, if they're still with us, bless them, must be absolutely spinning. They were called the Few, and they were called the Few for a good reason. Very, very brave, very, very brave individuals indeed. And you must look back and think, what the fuck did I do all that for if we're just giving this country away? It's awful, absolutely awful. I think it means they're not spending money for those recruits because they're not interested. Yeah, I know. My dad was in the RAF, Tony says. Alan Pierce, 85 Squadron. Is that what that picture was from, Alan? Did you identify that from the emblem on the fuselage, maybe? Let me know. My great uncle served as ground crew at Manston. Yes. Well, Manston, from what I recall from history, used to get the shit bombed out of it because it was a emergency landing airfield for people coming back from overseas. If they weren't going to make their home base, they could come in at Manston and put down there. So it was generally a good idea to bomb the crap out of it, really. Peter Townsend. Okay. Yes, that is a name I know. I thought it might have been the other dog, Vim Paraffin says. Oh, is that the one the wokies wanted to cancel? Is that the one? R.I.P. post-war Britain, 1945 to 22. Yeah. Desert Maeve, those poor, brave British and Americans that stormed Normandy must be turning in their graves. Absolutely. The last dam buster alive is 100. I had the honour of shaking his hand, Edgar Lee says. Wonderful, wonderful. I'll tell you, is there any Trekkies around here? Give me a 1 in the chat if you like Star Trek at all. And I'll see if I can find what I'm after while you say so. Right, let's share this with you. Logical. Yeah, there's a mixed bag, isn't there? Let's just share this screen. Yeah, you watch Picard. I'm looking forward to season 3 of Picard. Do you recognise this fella? Anybody? See you later, Angela. Night to you. But, yes, that is one Captain James Doohan, otherwise known as Mr. Scott in Star Trek. He fought in World War II. He was in the Canadian Army, and he was at Normandy. And I don't know if you ever noticed in anything he ever did, he had a finger missing. Let's change the screen so I'm a little bit bigger. There we go. Yeah, he always had a finger missing in any of his scenes. It was pretty much like that. What actually happened at Normandy, he was walking along one night and a Canadian sentry mistook him for the enemy. And what actually happened, he was open fired on. and he ended up losing a finger. I think he got a bullet in the leg, and one ended up in the chest. But his life was saved by a silver cigarette box that was gifted to him by a relative. It just went straight in the box and probably saved his life. And then when he came out of there, I think he ended up learning to fly with the Canadian Air Force. And they used to call him the craziest pilot in the Canadian Air Force because of a couple of stunts he tried just to prove that they could be done. Yes, that's right, Anna Perkins. He always tried his best to hide it, but did slip up every now and again in filming. Right, I've been here for 55 minutes, folks. I've just seen the time, and I'm going to have to split because I've got to check what's going on with this flight, and go and meet it, and obviously get it home. Wonderful to see all of you in the chat. Thank you very much for your support as always, and it's great for you to stop by. Make sure you've hit the like button if you haven't done so already, just so we can get a few more off. Thank you to all the channel members this evening, and Karen B, our new channel member. Look forward to seeing those in the members only chat in a week. I will be here tomorrow around the usual time in the garage, but what I'm going to do in future, because people are moaning about not being notified, and I think that's a YouTube thing. So what I'm going to do in the future is try and do a video during the course of the day just to say, hey up, we're going to be live at 9, and see what happens with that, if it improves things at all. But yes, for now, I'm going to bugger off. Thank you again, and I wish you all, as ever, toodaloo.